hello. Welcome. Another episode. I'm Olori.
Eka.
And I am FP.
Okay, I feel like you're clapping as you're saying this. Like I don't really
She's
know what
clapping. She's FA.
like what the extra clap is for. But anyway, okay. So today's topics. I feel like this episode should be called "Men Has Come." Honestly, but let me set the stage because I'm going to combine a few things. So the first thing that I wanted us to touch on was Princess the comedian. She has a new movie out called Body Bag. And we can spend maybe 2 minutes talking about the movie itself. But the key takeaway point of the movie was basically she saw the signs before she got married. Right? They had all the issues that they had before they got married. Again, and this movie is according to her side of the story, so the man may feel differently about how things happened, but basically it seems like the guy started out as a fan, someone that maybe on a good day should not be on her level, if that makes sense, in terms of hygiene, manners, grammar, English, money, the whole 9 yards. And she didn't think there was anything bad in it. It's your partner, you help out, you try to correct them where possible. So they had that incompatibility from the beginning. I don't know if it was truly love, and not societal pressures, because she got married at 33.
Okay.
That also now, and I will also add in that societal thing, I think if you've made a strong argument before about how size is also a problem for Nigerian men. So I wonder if all of that played into why she decided to just kind of like push it. Now in the movie, she made it seem like it was because she was a celebrity. How do you cancel the wedding that you've already announced, right? So, but anyway, she carried through the marriage. She carried through the through to the wedding, and then I think 2 weeks after, Uncle jackpot on her, right? That's 2 weeks after the wedding.
2 weeks, yeah.
Uncle moved. And so I think the moral of the story that she's trying to just basically say is that if you see the signs early on, don't ignore them. Deal with them or move on, right? And then I think her second thing is, you may think that it's hard to break up an engagement, but it's probably easier than breaking up a marriage or going through that process. And then her third moral of the story was, even when you're not down, right? As long as you have life, you have hope. Don't compare on that situation. So I wanted to talk about, so I don't know, because only two of us watched the movie. So
Shade.
So I mean, we can do a quick one on the movie itself, but I want to spend more of the time on the lessons learned, what she was trying to teach out. So Eka, do you want to give us a few? Because I can, give us what I thought the movie in general.
Okay, so for me, it was the interview she had with Your View on TVC, with the ladies on Your View. And I was actually just so impressed with how she was open about, first of all, the situation she had, and then secondly, for the fact that she was honest about just giving advice. I think one thing that caught my attention is when she said, see, life lesson, if you want to do, if you're ever in this situation where, like, obviously your marriage crashes after 2 weeks, be like Tiwa Savage and Funke Akindele.
Right.
Don't be like Princess. And why she said that is because obviously we can see how Funke Akindele and Tiwa as well were able to bounce back in their careers, bounce back for someone like Funke in remarrying and everything. And also Tiwa taking care of her child, being successful in her career, both women. But Princess said she kept on going down and down and it took time. Although she also said that different people react to things differently, different people have different emotions. So it should not be expected that people should um do like react the same way.
Right.
But then I'm just happy with so many points she made, and for the fact that she said she blames herself. She blames her.
Yeah.
She doesn't blame. She doesn't
And
blame. Obviously, the guy did wrong, right? There's some things he did wrong, which she's not excusing him for. But she blames herself first of all for being in the situation. She was the one that ended up because she mentioned the fact that, and I think we've said it in this podcast a couple of times, is that although a lot of people say that people can change after marriage, sometimes I believe God helps us. There are signs, small signs that that we are blind to see. So it's like there were signs, which is why a few times, a be weeks or whenever before the wedding, they were telling her it's better to have a broken engagement, but she said, "Ah, we've already shared the IV," which would signify to me that there were already cracks before
Yeah.
the marriage happened. But she probably shunned it off, and is that kind of what would people say? And also, maybe it will get better with time, and when we marry. But obviously, we see what happens now. So it's such a big lesson, and I'm happy she did the movie that depicted this, because in the end, a lot of times, a lot of people see these things, but then say it will get better. And then if it doesn't get better now, we will get to a point where you would have stories that governors will be interceding for Channels TV employee. That's what is to happen.
Ooh, the shade.
So I'm happy she did this. I am happy the marriage crashed after 2 weeks, because
yeah,
a
that's good
longer
enough.
wedding, a longer marriage, sorry, will now cause a child to be conceived and born. Although
Exactly.
she was even pregnant and she lost her child, I believe.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was going to touch on that real quick,
Which
right?
which can be something, it was sad or we thank God. We don't know which way
We
we will
give
go
God the
about
glory,
it.
oh.
But
We give God the
that, and
glory.
she might have felt sad about it, and that might have added to the depression that she felt. But I think in the long run, if you think about it, with the way, with her state of mind, raising a child in that kind of environment would have been bad, may have been had been bad for the child. Or it might have been good because that was what would lift her spirits. We never know. But there was a reason why she lost that child. So
But where I want to disagree with her on the be like Tiwa and Funke and not like Princess is this,
mm,
Yeah, I also
right?
have something to
Yeah.
say.
Until I didn't watch movie, no, we'll let you come in after a bit. So therefore, in that these women did not show us when they were crying. Like I don't think
True.
any of them bounced back the next day. Like okay, oh,
no,
this guy has
yeah.
left,
Mm,
so tomorrow, yeah. I think
Mm.
every woman, like if you
They
go
had their
through the
moment of
point where
sadness.
you have chosen to commit to a man, whether you saw
Mm.
the red flags or whether you didn't see it, or that separation is almost like a death, right? So to me, I feel like the idea that you just move on to me
Mm.
is a fallacy. You're going to break down, right? And in that breaking down to me is where you learn your lesson. Because she was
yeah.
even saying that like she didn't know that certain things were not right. That for example, she tends to have, and even in the movie, you see the same thing where she tends to have OCD, right?
Yeah,
Now,
that's I
as
Mm.
remember
someone that has
that.
OCD as well, you can be a bit overbearing for someone who doesn't, right? So,
Mm,
do you now also learn to pick your battles? Like, it's not every battle that you have to fight, if that makes sense,
Mm.
right? Number
mm,
one. Number two, the idea that for her, my partner, I have no issue spending on you to upgrade you to my level.
yeah.
Now, women that tend to do that again, from my own personal experience, you are masking
Mm,
the fact that the person is not as mutual as it's meant to be.
mm,
Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm.
You are using spending or over love to,
mm,
like, that covers the fact that this is not a mutual. Like if it's a mutual, it shouldn't be this hard,
Mm.
right?
yeah.
And so for me, I think in her going back through that pain, she's seeing where maybe these were her gaps. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think this is where I bring back to, I don't think she's ugly, but if you're not a spec as defined by society, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what I was coming to.
You may also get carried away by, okay, this is the first guy that actually, like, this is a decent looking guy. He actually is giving me attention. Do you get what I'm saying? And
Mm.
and you now want to overcompensate and do anything and everything
he wants.
that you can to make it.
And I'm already not of. I've passed the age of supposed age of marriage.
I'm
That
33.
wants. Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying? And it's not
Yes.
like, that I don't look like, Tucker is 36 and doesn't look, and she looks like a baby girl. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So you are not a Tucker baby girl looking type. You're not above the so-called age of approval, of which we are in this group right now. We give God the glory. Anyway, we're getting to the other side. Anyway, so therefore, you're, not a spec by by conventional means.
Society.
Right, your
Yeah.
age is not already above. Do you get what I'm saying? And so it's like, this is the guy that's showing me attention,
Yes.
and he's not mad. Do you get what I'm saying? So you not manage beyond what typically you would have. Do you get what I'm saying? Manage. So for me, I feel like you don't learn those lessons if you don't break down. If you form, I'm a G, I'm
Yeah.
princess, man. You will not learn that
No,
lesson.
I
So to
don't. I don't
me,
think. I
by
don't
all
think.
means break down, by all means
Yeah.
get depressed if you need to, but
Yeah.
don't stay there forever, like, because she
Yeah.
has bounced back though, like it took her a while, but she has
Yeah.
bounced back, right?
I think what her point was not to break down,
Okay.
because she even mentioned how Tiwa was attacked to a point where she then did that, after she even did that interview and everything. So her point was not to break down. Her point was, please don't break down and stay down for as long as she did, because she stayed down for years. As in, her breaking down was, she was down for so long. So it's not like you should not break down, or maybe
But
But I
Tiwa
don't think you
Funke did
can
not
time
break
it
down.
though. I don't think
You
you can
cannot.
time
That's the
these
problem.
things. It's like, because
Yeah.
yeah.
when you wake up is your morning. Like, I think
Mm,
what I'm saying. When you wake up is your
yeah.
morning. But sorry,
Yeah.
Fa.
Yeah. Anyway, what I wanted to say is, before she had the interview with the whole panel, during lockdown, she actually had a one-on-one interview with Mariah. That was the first time I even knew anything about her marriage. So she was saying
Really?
how, yeah, she did. If you check Mariah's YouTube channel, like, you
Okay.
see her like, it was probably, I mean, I was so intrigued by the whole thing. I think it was like 3 parts. So I can't remember much, but I remember when she said something about OCD. And she said, I think for me, what I took from it was the fact that, of course, she thought she was older, so get married. But then she also said something about how she shouldn't have picked that guy because she had a totally different upbringing from him. Like, she said he was a typical Yoruba man in that interview. That, and when she was describing him, I was like, you can teach someone to love you, but everybody has their way of showing love. And from what she told Mariah in that one-on-one interview, it was obvious the guy didn't love her. And she said it. She was like that. She in the morning she would wake up. She's a very romantic person. So in the morning she'll wake up and she'll be singing to him, and he'll be like, "Kile, no sense." Like, what are you doing? So she was like that. And she couldn't understand that was her way of showing love. And basically, she was doing these things because she actually, it's not like she loved him, but she was trying to see if maybe because he's too local, maybe I can try and touch him up,
Yeah.
and that's like my own romantic Hollywood kidney. But she noticed that the guy wasn't giving her. And then one time, I think she said she confronted him. And he was like, you don't need to call me every time. And I was like, that's the first red flag. How can somebody that got married to say that? Oh, because she was saying that sometimes she will call him and be like, oh, honey, she'll be giving him all these sweet names. Like, where are you? I'm missing you. And he'll be like, well, cannot, what's wrong with you? So I think for her, there was miscommunication. Number 2, it was like, she was doubtful. That's where that size thing comes in, where if you're certain, not even size alone, but size is one of the biggest ones. But if, you need to, Toke says you need to come correct. If you want a correct guy to an extent, because men are still scum, but if you want someone who kind of ticks your boxes and has the things you want, you also need to come correct to an extent. Another thing I would say is, don't settle for less. I don't care how old you are as a woman. I feel like if you're not sure of someone, you shouldn't, because I think that was what she was saying, Mariah, in the one-on-one. And like when you guys said in the panel, Kini, she was saying something about Tiwa and Jennifer, Funke.
Yeah.
Funke and Tiwa, unfortunately for Princess was popping as one time, but unfortunately for her, I feel like sometimes when you're in a low place, that's when you make decisions like that to marry any kind of person. Because it's like, let me just settle because nobody's coming. And I think the difference is that I feel like if Princess was at the top of her game, I don't think she would have married that guy. Because when she married him, like nobody really, I mean, she was not popping like before.
Fair.
Funke and Tiwa, well, they married that. Funke was popping when she married that guy. Unfortunately, Funke's case, the guy was already taken. So I think in her mind, she knew he would still leave her one day. So, or she would leave him. So then Tiwa's own, I don't want to go deep into it, but Tiwa had a sponsor. I'm not going to say the person's name. So apparently,
Oh, wow.
apparently there were rumors that her husband at the time was trying to blackmail the sponsor because he knew that Tiwa and the guy were doing kini together. So Tiwa was also at the top of her game. So I feel like it's easier to walk away when you're independent, you're confident. When you're not confident, when you're not independent, well, maybe Princess is independent because I think she could take care of herself. But confidence, I think we underrate confidence. If you can't, when you're not confident, you will never have the power to walk away or to move from here to here. You won't have the power to say, oh, you will always be down. So I think that's the biggest thing. Like if you choose to get married, I'm not a fan of just getting married just because. Make sure that you're mentally okay. That you don't get married when you're vulnerable. It's the worst thing. Don't get married when you feel someone will fill that void. If you can't help yourself, nobody can help you. That's what people don't understand. Marriage is not going to, like it can help you for a while, but after a while you realize that this what I want from this thing, I'm not getting it. So I think confidence at the end of the day should be the number one thing. And then get the bag, like make money for yourself, whether you're married, you're not married. Like just make sure that you're okay. Physically, you're okay. If you're fat, go to the gym. If you're skinny, gain weight. If you have mental issues, if you don't have money to afford a therapist, I don't know, pray to God or something. And then most importantly, make sure that you can afford the things that you want to an extent. So anybody that comes in is an addition, not like the person is fulfilling everything or is kind of taking kini from, I don't know, but I think her case was just mismatch. Like, she wasn't supposed to be with that guy, but unfortunately, she couldn't get the kind, maybe she couldn't attract the kind of men that she wanted. So she just said, okay, let me try someone. And that person obviously didn't love her, which is just really ridiculous. But thank God, though, she didn't have a child, because
I was going to say that piece real quick, because the timing of what she claimed this pregnancy, I'm thinking she got pregnant for the guy, but she miscarried.
Before marriage, Abby.
So I think that can also create.
Okay.
I mean, she didn't clarify that, but the way she was talking about, like that she has carried a child to that she didn't birth. If that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
So I'm tying it back to the fact that it was, for this guy.
Possible. Yeah.
Right, because to me, and that's also will now add to the the trauma bonding, right, of being with this particular guy. I will also say, please, friends that are trying to match make, as in, please let's be
please,
guided.
I beg, know what you are doing.
It was a friend that match made her with this guy.
The guy.
And I'm like, you know your friend, you know this guy.
Want him. Yeah.
So why did you? It's like me bringing a based in Brooklyn for a FA. I can't do that. I can't. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not done. He's not. So why would she do that for? Like, so to me, I'm like, and it's not back. And the friend was not even begging her to accept this guy. So I'm like, is it also about like you looked at your friend's level, and this is what you thought your friend
exactly
could go for? As in, do you get what I'm saying?
Just manage. Like, maybe she said manage him. Just manage this one.
Yeah, and I'm like, so in the circle, this is the best you can do for your friend?
Oh, no. Man, instead remain single, I beg.
I think most people, they just push put in the priority list, they just put it up there that what will people say? Let her just marry. Then they will now start putting some funny people there. They don't even have hope in their friend. That is the bottom line.
But can we also talk about, like, 'cause this is a little bit what we're arguing about in the first episode, being realistic and being supportive, right? As a friend, right? If you're thinking that, okay, because as if it was saying, you need to come correct.
Yeah,
right?
You need to come correct.
Which means that if you're looking for a six-pack guy, blah blah
you need
blah
to
blah
match
blah,
it. Be matching
you
it.
need to match in a particular. I'm just, and this may tie to our next topic that I may or may not bring in, because I feel like there's a tie, but that one many time, right? So, do you tell your friend that, babe, man, you're looking swear, or do you say, babe, you need to hit the gyms, right? Like as a friend.
I'll be honest. Like if my friend is saying, oh, I want this type of man, I'm like, look, my dear, you need, like, this is typically, so stereotypically, these are the kind of women that these men go for. So if you can try to just tick like at least half of the boxes, then maybe you can try, and see if that kind of guy will want you. Because men are visual, so unfortunately, women, we have to, we have to really come correct in that visual department. It's not even about being beautiful or whatever. Just put yourself together. Men like those things. Well, let me not talk too much, but yeah, I will tell my friend Sha, like, this kind of guy you want,
because
you
this
need
is the
to.
second public marriage that I think came down on what I suspect is also like that weight body image thing, like
What's the
that
first one?
that social prefect girl too.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah. It's true, it's true.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
seems to
true.
also be like a body image involved thing where if you did not have those limit doubts about yourself, would you have gone
Yeah,
ahead with the
yeah.
with the marriage? So
Marriage.
and to me that's where okay, or let me go a different way with it, right? So this
Mm,
idea of broken engagement is better than broken marriage. We're both
marriage.
saying which I don't even know how possible this is, that don't be vulnerable
Mm,
if you're trying to get married. And I
yeah.
don't see how you're not like I don't see how you can not be vulnerable with who you want to get married to, right?
No, when I
So
say vulnerable, I mean, like, don't, like, I'm saying some people just do it. That's what I mean. I don't mean you shouldn't be vulnerable in a marriage or in a relationship, but I'm saying, like, don't just do it because you think it's going to fill a void. Because when you're vulnerable, sometimes you're looking for something to, I don't know, to bring out the fire in you. I don't know how to explain it. So
bring
I'm
out the
just saying,
fire.
like, don't just, like, don't I think the key is don't settle just because, like, if you know that you want better, then work for it. Do you get, as opposed to just saying, okay, this is who is here, let me just, do you get what I'm saying? And even if you settle, like, if you figure out that you made a mistake, there's nothing wrong in moving on. Like, you made a mistake, okay, so what? So yeah, let's move. That's my own thing. Like, don't be too, when I feel like when people are vulnerable and you're depressed at the same time, it's just, you're just in a sunken place. Basically, you're like in this dark hole that we don't know when you're going to come out from it. So that's my own thing. Like, I think life is difficult, so it's better to just move on as fast as you can instead of just staying in a place that will just keep sucking
Okay.
you in.
So talking of moving on, that's all nice on paper. That's a cute one on
It's hard
paper.
in reality.
Right. But where, because I think I've heard many people say that a broken engagement is
It's better.
better than a broken marriage. And I remember recently a friend of mine was getting married, and basically we're still going back and forth in terms of like, should you be doing this?
Yeah,
Do you want,
just yeah.
do you want to give it more time? Right. But the second she went for introduction, in my mind, there was no going back for her, at that point.
Okay.
So when we say this broken engagement thing, to me, I'm like, are we coming in a bit too late at that point in time? Because for the most part, if you've agreed to bring, if I introduce
It's
you
never too late though.
to my, no, as in on paper, yes, today is always a good time to do what you need to do. Do you get what I'm saying? But mentally, when we say, oh, move on, if I was taking you to my father, right, that is a big show of commitment to, so that unwinding of the, so to me, I feel like, or maybe let me hear what you girls think, but I feel like saying a broken engagement, to me, we've already passed be careful.
But do you know what? In all honesty, what the advice is correct. So we cannot take away
Yeah.
from the fact that the advice is correct in the sense of a broken engagement is better than a broken marriage. It's better for you to just end it before you enter, before you
Mhm.
go and die when you enter. Now, as you said, how easy is it for you to break the engagement is the other thing. A lot of people have this notion that when you marry, things will be better. I will change him, I will change her. He will love me more, he will love me less. Whatever, I'll be
Yep.
more. Sorry. All these whole belief systems that is totally false simply because before self you were not living with the person and seeing the person
Right.
every day. So this one self, when you even enter, coupled with the ones that you do not like but you're trying to manage, you will now discover more in the marriage. I don't know, maybe some people discover only good things when they marry of the other person, or good habits, because in the end now you were not sleeping every night and waking up with the person to know that, oh, maybe this person's eye is like this when they wake up. So I believe that a broken engagement is better, but then as you said, Olori, how realistic is it to just up and say, let us end the engagement? I think what can help is if you have people around you that are like, I don't care
That's true.
people around you, meaning your parents and family members,
That's
especially your
true.
parents. I don't care what anybody has to say. My child has registered displeasure for some certain things, and the way she's looking or he is looking is going to be a bad thing if she marries. I'm canceling this thing. You understand? After
Right.
asking the child. So if you have that kind of support, I
Yeah.
believe it can work better. But if you don't have it, then a lot of times those are the same people, especially family members and friends, that will tell you, how can you even think
Yeah.
of it? Blah 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 blah. That's the
I
problem.
think you make a fantastic point, because I think I was thinking to myself that if my sister is getting married, I will tell her on the wedding day, if you want to go, I'm ready for
Go.
you. As in me and you
Exactly.
will go together. I'm like we're in it. I'm ready to go
Exactly.
with you. And I
Mm,
think that backing gives you confidence when you don't have. Do you get what I'm saying? Because to me, once you start doing this intro, you've already, in a sense, comes to terms with what you are, because on some level we're settling, in the sense that nobody is our 100% spec, right?
mm,
And you've now, decided what you're willing to live with and what you're not willing to live with. Do you get what I'm saying? So once you
mm.
start doing all this intro, wine carrying, knocking on the door, fucking flower, like you've already decided that you're willing to, deal with this person, in their most imperfect states. Now the issue that you have,
Mm-hmm.
that we don't know, that I think Eka raised, is if you not live with this person, right? Your idea of worst case scenario is limited to what you know.
Mhm.
Right? You don't know
Mm.
that there's still a worst case in front waiting for you.
Mm.
So maybe you also don't know how that, maybe you're okay with what it is now, right?
Yes.
But you're not envisioning how bad,
It will
things
get.
exactly. And so you have to reassess or resettle per time as you get more info. But I think, jokes aside, though, the big issues that are big to you are like in neon signs. You get what I'm
Mm.
saying? It's hardly ever that you missed it. It's that you just didn't want to
See it.
see it, or maybe because of pressure from society, you're trying to just package up. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm.
And took it somewhere. But to me, I think that from yeah, because like this particular guy, and let me even talk about this guy too, right? You proposed to her, right? What were you thinking? You knew she had
Mm-hmm.
OCD. You knew that she was above
Exactly.
your level, and we're now bringing a sprinkling of Nigerian men and their ego, right? Not wanting to take correction. Do you get what I'm saying? Because mind
Mm.
you, when again, as depicted in the movie, when he came to her, he was very shy, like, I'm honored to be in your presence, right? Now she's giving you eye. Get out from me, that like that day, if she had said, your English is bad, he'll have said, sorry, ma. Right? Now that you're now,
Mm.
into the thing, and she's not showing you love and being vulnerable, you're not for me, I'm the head of the house.
Mm.
So even you two, what were you thinking?
Okay, for you guys that watched the film, was there any monetary, like who was pulling their weights? Was she the
My
one bringing
my
everything?
sister, there's no pulling weight. There's only one weight in the money.
Okay, was only her.
There's no pulling weight. There's only money. The guy didn't seem to have anything doing,
Doing
and
okay.
even his friends were like, how did you bag someone of this
Yeah, status.
caliber? One,
Mm.
two, she felt the need to tush him up to her
Okay, yeah, to her taste.
level. Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. So that was the that issue. Now, two, and you raised a good point on this money issue. Ambition is important. In tushing him
Yeah.
up, she tried in the physical aspect of, okay, buy him clothes, buy him,
Yeah.
jewelry or whatever. But also
Mm.
she tried to link him up with who she knew,
Yeah.
to get him like a job, or like a contract. And according to
Mm.
her in the movie, he would not take it seriously. He came for a
Yeah.
meeting late. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, I know
Yeah.
my father, for example, he's trying to help you. You now have the guts to come late. Then you're not serious. So imagine her, linking him to Alibaba and all the other people that she knows, and they're not taking
Mm.
the
Yeah.
works. So even beyond just the Like there were just multiple layers of not being compatible, because again, a guy who wasn't doing anything before you is probably comfortable in that level.
It was wrong from the get-go, which is why it was just wrong. Even the dating shouldn't have even taken place.
Yeah.
Boyfriend girlfriend should have never occurred. I
Yeah.
believe there was a large part of it was pressure, was just saying,
Yeah.
okay, I've given up, I'm just okay with this, let me just enter it. And this is the
Yeah.
result, unfortunately. And it's so sad because it now made her depressed for such a long time. I mean,
Mm.
something of 2 weeks, so now cause years of sadness and regrets that,
Yeah.
and I'm sure most of her regrets stem from the fact that I shouldn't have even gone into
Yeah.
it. I could see
Yeah.
that
Mm.
it was wrong, but I just went into it. So at least the good thing is that hopefully it has made her stronger in the sense that she's stronger in herself and knowing who she is and what she
Yeah.
wants and not settling for pressure. Because okay, they
Exactly.
say marry, marry, marry. She married now. Okay, what happened? The thing, it did not even work out. So I think, and the problem, that's the problem in society. They will say you're 33, you've not married, you're this, you're that. There's just so much pressure that causes problem. People are marrying anyhow in a stupid manner just because of I am of
Yeah.
age, or
Mm.
nobody else will see me and marry me. All these
Yeah.
things cause problem because there's a lack of esteem for the person that is putting pressure on themselves first of all. Then
Mm-hmm.
you now go and unfortunately, if you go and jam a yeah person, it will now make
Yeah.
the whole thing worse. And some people are not as lucky as Princess that the thing ended though. They are still there
That's true.
managing.
With kids.
With kids, then that one is now like I have to be here for my kids. That's the one that now
And
wow.
an
That's the
insecure
worst.
man, because from the movie that she put
He
together,
definitely is.
he had to
Yeah.
be insecure.
Yes.
You are punching
So
above your weight class. So anything
Exactly.
that
that
is
she
told,
says
yeah, is an insult.
is an insult. I mean, this is somebody trying to help you. Okay, she says she connected you, and then you will not now. Like, I don't even understand. In fact, let me not just get angry at the
No,
like.
but I feel like
Ah,
also Nigerian men do this thing a bit where, like, I remember seeing one guy, let me not call him unfortunate, but he was looking down at a girl that, in my opinion, in my own assessment, was more of his financial standing, in my opinion,
Mm.
mm,
right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I don't do such girls,
hmm,
right? You now go for the girl that is using bone straight for 2 weeks only.
hmm.
When she now bills you the bone string, after that,
You
oh,
come and complain.
all girls are gold diggers. But no, you saw someone that was of your caliber, and but you said no. You want to take Makinwa.
Exactly.
Now you're in problem. So men need to also go for what, because I'm sure there was a girl in this guy's village that was going to be more apt to
To his
what he
Exactly.
was doing.
specifications.
Yeah. And also, please, men, start how you want to finish, because also on the first day he came with gifts for her, like
Oh,
fruits and stuff, right?
ridiculous.
From what he
So, what
can
was his own
afford.
agenda?
So now you're not saying that, oh, she's been too romantic. I'm like, uncle,
It's not fair. It's not fair.
uncle. So please, like, and I also, and another advice, I think women need to date more in their 20s. I think, in the sense that you learn these lessons in your 20s. Do you get what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because all this giving your all to somebody, being disappointed, learning what that means about your, like, it needs to happen earlier. I feel like, because now I think, because she claimed that was almost 7 years ago. So I'm guessing
mm,
she's now 40. So if you want to have a kid now, that's important to her, right? It's, you're not a bit behind the curve on that. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, I feel like this lesson is an important lesson to learn, but if you can learn it in your 20s, better for you than in your 30s. But please, anything you do not go and get pregnant, please. I'm not, please, because yeah, because the lesson that you're meant to learn, you're not gonna learn over, the lesson. So please, let's be
a
guided.
wasting time learning of
Yeah.
lesson at an
But I
older
think
age.
that, yeah, but I think in your 20s, do all this, love up and learn the lessons um there, because to me a one-sided, and from the movie it was one-sided from the one. Do you get what I'm saying? The love, the care, the pushing. And once it's one-sided like that, hardly ever does it go well, in my opinion.
God, it's just sad. My own is, I just keep on saying I'm happy it ended in 2 weeks, because
Yeah,
years and years causes extra layers that can be hard to come out of, and it can cause
Exactly.
the shutting down of the character
The
of
person.
whoever. Yes.
Yeah.
physical
So
violence would have entered, no doubt,
exactly,
no doubt.
or even
But did she say who walked out? Like, who
He
walked
walked
away?
out. He
Was it
walked
her or
out.
him?
He
that's why
walked
I
out.
say it's
Better.
God.
Even
It's
on wedding
God.
day, even on
Because
wedding day,
normally the woman is
uncle
long
didn't want to
suffering.
do it.
Ah. He
Even
didn't
on
want to
wedding
do
day,
it.
yeah.
God, I'm
Because
just
according to the film, he was claiming that why would they do everything according to how she wants it to be done? And I'm like, this is the wedding day. You had a planning period. So why didn't you give your opinion of what you didn't want or what you wanted before now? For him, it was just basically a power play. That I know that I'm below your level, but I will try and use I'm a man to frustrate you. That basically to me what I got from that. Because again, he's insecure. The only thing he has to stand on is I'm a man in a patriarchal society.
society. So whoever you
Yeah,
are.
that was the only thing he had. That
And
was the only thing he had.
unfortunately, she was going in with, "Oh, my love, I'm trying to show you that I'm not going to like shout
Exactly.
too much, even though I'm the one that is maybe more popular or
And we've gone far.
financially providing. You understand? I'm okay with you as you are, and see what now happens." It's so sad.
Even down to insult, like she like, yes, we argue, but maybe at best you are mad, you are stupid. But that this guy calls her Olori Buruku, as in like deep, like deep. And she's like, as in what brought this level of, as in we're arguing,
Uh-uh.
yes, but it shouldn't be this deep of
Can you imagine this happening
yeah.
in 2 weeks? 2 weeks is supposed to be honeymoon period, even 1 month.
Yeah.
Hey, God.
No, this is before the two. I mean, these are the
Oh,
signs
before the
that
two
yeah,
weeks.
the
Oh
signs
my
she saw,
God.
because she is again. I've given you contact to many people that I know, right?
Mm,
You've now not followed up or followed through with all of them. So I'm
what's
like,
up?
I'm tired. I'm
Hmm.
like, and then she was like, you can't be successful if you keep on taking things this way. You know, start to tell you
Yeah.
that, oh, you want to curse me, that I won't have. And she's like, how is that a curse? You have to have
Hey.
a work ethic to have success. It's not a magic stuff.
Exactly.
Mm.
So there, there,
And
there, there are many issues.
for the fact that she looked like, with the OCD that she has, she looks like a disciplined person in her field and
Yes,
her craft.
yes,
That is,
Yeah.
and a
yes,
lot of people don't know. People work hard to get to where they
yeah.
are. If they
Yeah.
lend you a helping hand to give you
Please
contact to
utilize
somebody
this
that you will
well.
utilize it, that you would have never been in contact with,
In the next
and
three
you mess
years.
up like this, look at this life.
Because it also looks bad on, because again at the end of the day
And
we
it's
only
her
have
boyfriend.
our name.
Ah,
Your name is all
yes,
you have. So you don't want to be seen as the person that
connecting you.
yeah, that was someone that is not serious. That makes you look bad. Do you get what I'm saying?
I will not lie, there are some people that I know that if they ask me to help them connect to somebody, I
I
know
can't.
how they are. Me, I will not do
I
it,
can't.
because I don't want you to disgrace me. And I'll
Yeah.
tell the person that is asking for us, I'll say, see, it's not as if I cannot help you, but I'll not do it because I don't want you to disgrace me. Because I know the
Simple.
kind of person that you are. And you're not disciplined enough for me to risk
My
myself
name,
or
my brand.
you.
Ah,
No, you can't disgrace me. They'll now think birds of the same feather are
thank
flocking
you.
together in that direction. No, 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 no. Please, I beg. The friend did not try. Ah,
That exactly.
that matchmaking was wrong.
Please, let me just sound this note of warning. I beg. So, please, nobody should match. If you try it, don't try it. Because me, I'm coming. No, I beg. Instead, don't even tell me. Just say, leave it. I beg. We have to come correct. You people know my type, so please, if you see them,
How
when I
bad?
come
How
correct,
bad?
Oh yeah, for Charlie.
please bring a correct.
Man.
Oh, ladies, it's been wonderful. Okay, so bye.
Have a good week, girls. Boy.
Effie, where's your bye, please? Where's
I don't even understand this kind of.